The sport is sponsored by the West Automotive Group. The U.S. is moving on. Yesterday in the WBC, Mason Miller closes the show in the ninth to beat the Dominican Republic. The U.S. will await the winner tonight of Italy and Venezuela. And the Chiefs have traded for quarterback Justin Fields for a 6th-round pick next year. He will be the backup for Patrick Mahomes until he gets back. And the NBA is eyeing expansion, possibly to Las Vegas and Seattle next season. At West Automotive Group, their philosophy is to never put money ahead of people, and their master certified technicians will only perform repairs you really need. Visit westautomotivegroup.com to book your appointment today. That's westautomotivegroup.com.
To the Fletch Zone.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
Well, don't keep us in suspense any longer. Show us what you got.
A tough weekend for the Aztecs, and the committee says no. But the field of 68 is set.
Loads. Explodes. Goal. Stay on the target. Goal, San Diego FC.
SDFC remains unbeaten after a tie in Dallas.
He sets the third. Crawford's out. Right there. He's gone.
Nothing personal, Fernando.
Mason Miller's 8th pitch to Perdomo. It is over.
Team USA takes down the Dominican Republic to reach the WBC final. Plus,
I got UCLA covering the spread against Michigan State. I got Arizona winning by 4.5 points. And I got Bruno Silva winning straight up.
I'm going to be constructive here. That was terrible.
Now let's hit inside the studios of San Diego Sports 760 and get into the Fletch Zone.
Look, it ain't easy.
It doesn't feel good, does it?
It's San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. It is the return of the Sam. It's the return of the Mac. Welcome back, Sammy. How are you feeling?
Good, man. It was kicking at spring training over the weekend.
See, so you went to spring training when, Arizona was still reasonable with its weather. I'm going out to spring training this weekend. It's about to be 104 degrees. So
yes, it changes on Wednesday. The news was not too thrilled about that. People
awesome.
out there.
Can't wait for 104 degree weather coming up this weekend. All right, but as we get going here, obviously tons to talk about today, and it's just the two of us today. No guest booked because we got a lot to go over from the weekend that was, from what's coming up in March Madness. That will be San Diego State Aztec-less. And that's where we are going to start today. But I did want to mention, we got Neo tickets to give away today. Dude, Neo coming to the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater on August 18th. If you want to go and take a ride with me, just keep on listening to this show. Because coming up, we got a pair of tickets for you to go see Neo out at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater in August. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Sam, are you ready to have a great show?
I am ready to have a great show.
You ready to have a great show?
I'm excited to be back. I am excited to get back in the winning ways on long shots because I was listening over the last couple days, and Ben has talked so much mess about not coming through for the gamblers. And from what I hear, what Big Voice guy said, you didn't make San Diego money over the weekend.
The UCLA call covering worked out nicely. Thursday I was 1 of 2, and then I didn't actually watch the Bruno fight. Did he end up winning or no? Do you know?
As evidenced by Big Voice guy? No, I don't think he did.
So I went 1 of 3 on the last one. Look, it ain't easy. You got a lot going on. I was pushing buttons. I was talking. I was trying to figure out why Steve Hartman just won't come on this show anymore. I was doing a lot on Friday, but excuses are excuses.
Did you see Steve Hartman get thanked at the Oscars last night?
No, he did not.
It was not him, but the drop, I will send it to you. I should have said this to you before the show. There was a guy who was named Steve Hartman, and they opened up, he won an award, and they opened up and said, I want to thank Steve Hartman, who's a legacy here. I'm like, oh, that's becoming a drop tomorrow.
That's going to have to be his intro when he doesn't come on the show this week. Can't wait for it. All right, we are going to start with the San Diego State Aztecs. Look, if you were watching on Saturday, you know the story. They got beat by Utah State. Utah State played the better game. Now, there's a lot that goes into it. I would say Utah State definitely benefited from the scheduling of the Mountain West Conference tournament, and they had two pretty easy games in their first couple, beating UNLV, was it San Jose State? I think it was San Jose State. Nevada, excuse me. UNLV and Nevada in their run to the Mountain West Tournament Championship game. And they won both those games going away. They didn't have to play much in the second halves of either of those two games, or at least the final 10 minutes. San Diego State, on the other hand, had battles. They had a battle against Colorado State. They had a battle against New Mexico to get to the championship game. And if you were hanging out with me on Friday night, you know, Friday night's game didn't start till like 9:30 at night. They didn't get back to the hotel till well after 1 o'clock. All those are excuses, and they're good ones, and they are meaningful, but ultimately San Diego State got outplayed against Utah State, and ultimately you look back at the season that was, and a win over Grand Canyon, a win over Troy probably means we're still talking Aztecs basketball in the present tense, but as of right now, we're talking about it in the past tense. And I think it was smart for Brian Dutcher and J.D. Wicker and the Aztecs head coaches to realize that A, they're banged up, and B, I think the program has outgrown the NIT or any of the other tournaments that are going on right now, and call it quits for a season. But when you have Miles Heide out with the wrist injury, the hand injury, when you have Miles Bird, who's been banged up the second half of the season, when you have Magoon Gwath, who you just got back healthy, Elsie Harrington, who's been in a walking boot, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me or to anyone else to go play in one of these lesser tournaments just to keep playing some more basketball games and just to get a check for your university. So I think San Diego State made the right decision. Futures outlook is on the Pac-12 now, and I can't wait for that. But disappointing to see the season end the way it did for the Aztecs.
Yeah, it was, they fought well in the Mountain West Conference tournament. And
they fought their asses off. I was impressed with how they played for 3 days.
Right. I mean, and the scheduling, this is why it's so good they're moving out of that conference. I mean, what conference? The Big 12 and SEC are not having someone play at 9:00 the previous night and then playing in a championship game the next day. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. At 3 o'clock. That should not be a factor. Just like we don't hold Super Bowls anymore on outdoor sites in New York, because the weather should not be a factor when you're supposed to be having the 2 best teams in the NFL, the 2 best teams in a conference. They fought well. It was disappointing. Yeah, we were talking before the show a little bit. That call when the foul, the 5-point play for Utah State, I'm not saying it changed the outcome of the game. The Aztecs were losing momentum at that point.
If you missed it, Reese Dixon Waters was trying to fight through a screen to go defend MJ Collins, who was on fire. MJ Collins deserves the MVP award for that tournament. But Reese Dixon Waters committed a foul, then MJ Collins shot. But even upon review, Mountain West officials still got it wrong and gave them the 3 points and the ball back, which they then scored again.
Right. So it was, again, that play didn't lose in the game. They were losing momentum in the second half, but it was disappointing kind of to see that when the game was still in doubt. It was so close there. And the Aztecs, I'm with you. I didn't want them to accept an NIT invite. We talked about this last week. That just feels kind of beneath the Aztecs. The Aztecs is a team playing in the national championship game only a few years ago. So while is it disappointing? Yes, the season did not play out certainly the way we all had hoped. There was massive expectations coming into this year. They played, well in this Mountain West Conference tournament, but then again, this is what happens when you lose to Troy and you don't look good against Michigan and Arizona and teams like that. It just doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room. So it's disappointing, but Dutcher and them will reload for next year.
So next year when I'm on the pregame show and I talk about how important some of these early season games are, and you all roll your eyes at me and say, oh, what is that actually? It's college basketball. It's a week 3 game against Troy. Who cares? This is why it matters, because either with a win against Troy or a win against Grand Canyon, remember that game that came down to one blown call by an official late in Phoenix, either one of those games gets them into the tournament, and San Diego State didn't get either of them. And that's just the way it is, I guess. I will say there's 4 or 5 teams who are in the tournament this upcoming week that I don't really think belong there. And I think that there's a couple of teams who are just on the outside, namely, yes, a 16-loss Auburn team I actually think should probably have gotten into the tournament. And I do think San Diego State and New Mexico both deserved a shot at it. But it is what it is. I can't believe, by the way, that the Mountain West, given how good this league was this year, and that's ultimately their downfall because they picked each other apart, is just a 1-bid league. Get the hell out of the Mountain West. And don't let the door hit you on the way out, because, man, hopefully greener pastures ahead with the Pac-12.
Right, you have 2 opportunities every year to beat Gonzaga for the foreseeable future.
And not just Gonzaga, but Boise State's been really good and in tournament conversation every year. Utah State clearly, I think, can win a couple of games in the NCAA tournament this year. So it's not necessarily that you're taking this massive step up, and you are with Gonzaga, but it's that you're going to have less games against teams like Air Force. Less opportunities for you to really slip up and fall on your face, and more opportunities for you to be able to go get big wins in the middle of your conference schedule. Can't wait for it. Really excited for next year and the future for San Diego State. All right, let's get to the big 3 here of our number 1. We will get to the WBC as our YouTube chat's already blown up about it. Can't wait to talk about Team USA's win yesterday, although not without some controversy. Sammy, let's smash the big 3. Go ahead, hit it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? Coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big 3.
Have you ever heard of the Forbidden Glizzy, Sammy?
Yeah. Disgusting.
The forbidden glizzy. I had it about an hour and a half ago. I'm not feeling great. I'll tell you what it is in a couple minutes. Go wherever you want to start with the big three, Sammy.
The forbidden glizzy. Hey, let's go to the NFL.
Oh, let's.
The Chiefs.
QB1, Justin Fields.
Chiefs trade for Justin Fields. 6th-round pick next year. Do we like the move if Patrick is out for a couple games?
Well, it does. What's the other option? Jake Haener, the old Fresno State quarterback?
Yeah.
I think he's on the roster. Like this.
Well, no, not Jake Haener. I mean, they could sign him.
Right. So I think for the Chiefs, this is smart. And while Justin Fields is the quarterback one now for the Kansas City Chiefs and is going to lead them to heights that Patrick Mahomes never could have, you need to have great backups in the NFL. And it gets proven every single year. And for the Kansas City Chiefs, this is smart. So now instead of starting the season maybe with a couple of losses while Patrick Mahomes is recovering from injury, they can at least stay competitive in these games. But I don't know. What's the latest prognostication on Patrick Mahomes? I thought he was due back by week 1.
They think he is due back by week 1. I like this, though, no matter what.
It's $3 million they're paying him? That's nothing.
And it feels like, here's best case scenario. Well, worst case scenario, Mahomes isn't ready for the start of the regular season. But if Fields has to play, if he's good, then you can flip him for a pick halfway through the year because Justin Fields is still a young player. Whereas ideally he never sees the field. Ideally he's a scout team quarterback who can run a little bit, can kind of offer you. So many teams don't have mobile quarterbacks to when you play Lamar Jackson for a scout team to kind of replicate that. I like it. I'd rather have this than a Carson Wentz or a Russell Wilson or somebody that it's just like, why? I guess you get the veteran leadership, but they're not going for a pick. You're always thinking toward the future. It's like the Niners. They have Mac Jones. I mean, there are going to be teams calling when someone gets hurt in training camp where Mac Jones' is trade value is going to go through the roof. You always want to be trying to recycle young quarterbacks. If you look at great teams over the years, they're always drafting quarterbacks on day 3, even though they don't need them. Even they have Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, whoever it is. You always want to be drafting and developing because you can't always flip it for the future. So I'm excited about that. All right, the NBA.
You want to stick with the Chiefs for one more second? Because text line was very curious on Thursday when it happened, how you would feel about Kenneth Walker stepping off of the Hunt family private jet wearing a Raiders shirt.
Oh, no problem at all.
Oh,
no problem at all.
Really?
Why would we care about that?
So the new running back won for the Kansas
he's
City
letting
Chiefs?
Raider fans know who's going to own him for the next 4 years.
Sure, but it's you can't say that's the only thing he was thinking.
He signed the contract.
Maybe
I could care less. Anyone who has a problem with that, like, I don't even know what to say. Jason Tatum wears Laker gear, Kobe gear.
Sure.
Zero problem with that whatsoever.
Interesting.
People really have a problem with that?
I mean, he's wearing a division rival shirt, getting off of the Hunt family plane.
Okay.
Walking in to sign his Chiefs contract. That was intentional.
Is he signing with the Raiders?
No.
No. So no worries there.
Wow.
All right. The Lakers are on a heater, winning 7 of 8.
That's called denial, my friends.
Why would I have a problem with that?
It's just a little weird.
I genuinely don't know why.
Fernando Tatis Jr. gets off of Dan Freakin.
Well, he goes on Mookie Betts' podcast. So
right, and I had an issue with that. He wasn't wearing Dodgers gear at the time. That would have made it worse.
I don't care. People get up in arms about random stuff.
You're
that doesn't
so
matter.
emotionally evolved, Sammy. Good for you.
The Lakers are on a heater, winning 7 of 8. Beat the Nuggets on a last-second shot from Luka Doncic. Have we underestimated how far this team can go in the Western Conference?
I thought Austin Reeves' little pass to himself on the free throw at the end of the game was one of the coolest plays I've seen in recent memory of the NBA. I mean, talk about executed perfectly, kind of like doing the whole fake out. He went through his normal free throw routine and then just kind of flicked it at the front of the rim.
Yeah, they called that play.
It was genius. I thought it was wonderful. I don't know that we've over or underestimated the Lakers whatsoever when it comes to postseason play, because let's see you do it 4 times in a row against the same team. It's going to be a little more challenging with their lack of depth and their lack of defense that they play. But for right now, this is a fun story. And I think LeBron has maybe shut some of us up with the whole aspect of, the Lakers are better without him on the court. Well, that's still maybe true. We've seen a little bit of an uptick in intensity from LeBron James over the last few. So maybe the media fire that he created when he was out has fueled him a little bit into playing some better basketball. Because I saw him diving for balls yesterday. I saw him playing hard defense over the weekend, like stuff we haven't really seen from LeBron this year. So maybe things are getting better at the right time for the Lakers.
FedEx Trey, Lake Show on the YouTube chat.
Lake Show?
Yeah, the Lakers, I think, are they Oklahoma City or San Antonio? No, but why I think there was a lack of excitement around the team despite their record was they couldn't beat anybody good until a week and a half ago. They beat up on teams below 500, okay teams. So just every time they stepped up in competition, they lost. And then now over the last week, you beat the Knicks, you beat the Timberwolves, and you beat the Nuggets. I mean, these are three teams that are bona fide star playoff teams. The Nuggets, a team that has tormented you over the last few years. The Knicks, a team that plays a physical brand of basketball, which has given the Lakers a lot of problems at times this year. So I am excited how the Lakers are playing. Again, I do think they are number 3 in the West behind San Antonio and Oklahoma City. But I think of that grouping of Houston, Denver, Minnesota, the Phoenix, the Lakers, when they're fully healthy, can be the best of that group. LeBron has taken a little bit of a backseat to Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. When the big three has not worked at times, it's because Austin Reeves has been passive, kind of letting LeBron and Luka run the offense. When Reeves is aggressive, Reeves and Luka are really running the show, and then LeBron can finish games. That's when the Lakers are at their deadliest. DeAndre Ayton playing some good ball right now, and they actually have one of the best clutch time defenses in the league. So that's been exciting for the Lakers. They got Houston tonight, which will be a big game. We can get into this on the other side, but obviously the World Baseball Classic, amazing performance. I mean, USA moving on. Now, a lot of people are furious about how the game ended with Mason Miller. You know, obviously didn't look like a strike, and they called it on the 3-2 count. Fernando Tatis would have come up, which would have been cinema, at least here in San Diego, to see Tatis against Miller. But thoughts on the US of A moving on?
We will get to it on the other side. Plenty of thoughts on that game, plus some of the moments in that game. It was pretty cinematic, man. And I don't know what this sets up, but potential for some redemption for Team USA against Italy. It could happen. We'll talk about it on the other side at San Diego Sports 760. Neo tickets coming up very, very soon. Don't go anywhere. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This is Nelly, Ben, not Neo.
I know. It's San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2:00 today. John Schaefer is going to be taking over then. We have Nelly tickets. No, we have Neo tickets.
We have Neo tickets, and you thought Neo was Nelly, and the text line pointed that out.
Thank you, text line, for having my back. But yeah, Nelly or Neo is I'm so sick of love songs. So sad and slow. You know that song? So we got Neo tickets coming up in August if you want to win them today on the show. Not Nelly. I apologize for that. But it is San Diego Sports 760. And the WBC maybe hit a fever pitch last night. That was a lot of fun, man, as USA beats the Dominican Republic. Now, not without its drama, not without its flair. So Paul Skeens, I thought, put out a hell of a performance for Team USA. I mean, if you're not a fan of that guy, I don't really know what he's done wrong other than be a Pittsburgh Pirate. But for some reason, he is a bit polarizing. The way Paul Skeens went out there and pitched, that's what everybody should have wanted out of a competitor, out of one of their guys. And Paul Skeens, as an American, showed out very well yesterday. Gave up 1 run, 71 pitches, pitched his ass off for Team USA. But on the flip side of the coin, some drama in the World Baseball Classic. You had the play at second base. Who was playing second for Team USA? I messed up his last name a million times today.
I'll check.
Yeah, he basically got a flip on a double play, and it was on the transfer that he was throwing to first. He dropped the ball. Manny Machado was pissed about it. The whole Dominican Republic team was pissed about the fact that they didn't think he got it out cleanly and that it wasn't a catch to begin with. But that was a controversial. Yes. Controversial, big moment in the game that could have swung momentum. And then, of course, the one everybody's talking about today, Mason Miller on the mound, end of the game. He gets the save, but was it a strike or was it a ball? I mean, pretty conclusive. It was a ball that Team USA won that game on. I don't know how much it changes anything. I would imagine it would have been Tatis up next for the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, it would have been Tatis up next. So it would have been fun for San Diego. It would have been fun to watch, certainly for sports radio purposes. Watching Tatis versus Miller would have been a good time, but like I was even texting with some of my boys last night who were like, "Oh, this is BS." I'm like, first off, I don't know why you weren't rooting for America. That's kind of crazy. Number one, and then
Dominican Republic has a pretty easy team to root for.
I'm not.
Like I was rooting for Team USA. I was firmly cheering for Team USA. But the Dominican Republic team, the vibes they got are immaculate. It's incredible watching how much they love playing baseball.
Yeah, Miller though. I mean, this is what makes him so unique. People are in an outrage today that it was a ball. Yes. Was it a ball? 100%. People are talking about, oh, they got jived, all this, or it doesn't really mean anything now. No, this is what happens when you throw 103 miles per hour. Okay.
By the way, that's back-to-back games. He's finished them going like 103 miles per hour to that 90 mile per hour slider.
Right. You speed someone up, and then even the ump is also trying to make calls. Right. So yes, when we get to the ABS conversation, would we have liked to have seen that? 100%. But when I hear people going like, oh, it all came down to the one pitch and the Dominican Republic got screwed. No, if we were going to go through the entire game and have ABS, all these calls would have changed. So unfortunately for the WBC right now, ABS is not a part of the game. So you are going to have human error when you have humans judging the game. So no, I don't want to hear about how, America shouldn't be moving on, all that nonsense. Shout out to Mason Miller for holding it down for the USA.
Juan Soto had some quotes after the game where he said, we showed the world who the real best team in baseball is today. And no, you didn't. Yeah, you lost. No, you lost 2-1. But how about Aaron Judge throwing Tatis out at third? Absolute cannon of an arm. I didn't think you could throw Tatis out running as fast as he was, but just an absolute cannon from Judge. And one note on Mason Miller. So this goes back to last Padres season. The last 50 batters who have hit against Mason Miller are 0 for 50 with 39 strikeouts. Mason Miller in his last 50 batters faced, batters are 0 for 50 with 39 strikeouts. That's the Padres closer, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'm sorry. You said the Juan Soto thing?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. First off, Juan Soto, I didn't even see this. Juan Soto, you guys scored 1 run. So what are you talking about? We showed who the best team in baseball is.
They're the real best team in baseball. The best team in the world.
John Smoltz and Joe Davis said it on the broadcast last night. If you would have told any Dominican Republic fan the United States would score 2 runs yesterday, we're moving on to the final. You would have thought easy, of course. Tatis, Soto, Machado, Caminero, up and down the list. You have stars everywhere. Shout out to the USA pitching staff. And that's crazy to me. Mason Miller is an absolute stud. And then how about him, like, especially early in that pressure of a situation, was kind of all over the place. The one popped out of Will Smith's glove, and they were talking about he didn't want to throw the slider because he didn't really have the command. But, I mean, again, when you throw 102, 103, you can just overpower elite level hitters, and Juan Soto needs to stop talking because Juan Soto runs his mouth too much, except doesn't ever win anything.
They just showed, Sammy, they're the best team in baseball. Tyler on YouTube saying, I was hoping to see the Tatis versus Miller matchup. I do wonder how that would have gone.
That would have been fun.
I feel like Miller probably would have mowed him down. Jamar, Sammy, how you feel about your new savior, quarterback one, Justin Fields?
Hey, Jay Fields going to get us to 2-0, baby.
Jay Silves, it's highly likely that the WBC will have ABS implemented as long as it's successful during regular season Major League Baseball play coming up in 2030. I think so too. And I think ABS is going to be great for baseball. I really do. FedEx Trey saying Lake Show. FedEx Trey saying, how about that defense from Judge J-Rod? Aaron Judge throwing him out was crazy.
That was fantastic.
Jay Silves, as long as Sammy doesn't start sporting a Neo t-shirt, we're good.
No, I got the Nelly shirt I'll wear tomorrow.
You got any Neo shirts?
I don't have a Neo shirt. I have a Nelly shirt.
But he's so sick of love songs, Sammy. Steven on YouTube says Miller probably mows down Tatis, as did Bednar. Yeah, I don't know. We'll never know how that goes down. It would have been cool to see Fernando Tatis squared up with Mason Miller. I would guess Miller probably strikes him out.
Well, and not to just like you rip the Padres players, because Miller's unbelievable. Miller has been one of the reasons why the U.S. is now playing in the championship game. The last two games has been he's been kind of the savior for him. Tatis gets thrown out on third. Machado does not come through, but I believe there were 2 outs in that, couple on. So I mean the hitters for the Dominican Republic, Juan Soto, everyone that's kind of chirping today. I mean, I don't really get it. You let Gunnar Henderson and Roman Anthony, 2 absolute kids, score more than you.
All right, 484 says Juan Soto, that is the most Mets quote ever.
Yes, that is the most Mets quote ever.
913, heartbreaker for the Aztecs. Sad to see it end. Not a good season, but rather disappointment. 913, curious to see how many of these guys are going to return for San Diego State. NIL makes it tough, though the Aztecs change players every year, unfortunately. Yeah, I was having that conversation over the weekend with a buddy who is a big Aztecs fan. We were actually having a cup of whiskey while we were talking about this. And what I kind of came down to is the focus needs to shift. So Reese Dixon Waters, he's been incredible for San Diego State. And it's kind of crazy to hear his story go from like 7th grade and his path to end up with San Diego State. Dave Velasquez talked about it on postgame. It was a really great story, but Reese is gone, out of eligibility. Miles Bird, most likely gone. He graduated this year from San Diego State, even though he was a junior. He had a redshirt season in there, so he's already graduated. I would imagine he's going to go test other waters. So you look to the future. And are you building around Tay Simmons and Magoon Guath? I don't really know who you build around with this current roster. I feel strongly that you want Tay Simmons and LZ Harrington to be a part of it. I don't know that you keep both in the world of NIL. I would imagine someone's going to transfer. So if you have to start making some tough decisions, I'll tell you, Tay Simmons was my favorite player to watch on the team this year. I would do what I can to bring BJ Davis back for another season because you can. So I don't really know where the Aztecs go from here, but I would imagine there's going to be a good amount of turnover.
And Tay Simmons feels like he fits the Brian Dutcher model.
He's very Matt Mitchell,
very physical in the defensive end, is kind of plays bully ball, a little bit of a 90s brand of basketball. So Tay Simmons is great. LZ Harrington, though, is the one. I mean, he's shifty. Like, does he exactly fit the San Diego State mold of defense first? No, but LZ Harrington,
even a walking bucket,
right? Even of this team, even of your Miles Bird, of your Reese Dixon Waters, of Magoon Guath, if you're like, go get one bucket, go take some off the dribble, LZ Harrington has to be in that conversation. So hopefully they get both back. That would be the ideal situation. Again, with the NIL, that's not always feasible. But just as a lot of the players are going to leave from this Aztecs team, San Diego State, especially with going to the Pac-12, is going to be able to recruit some big names elsewhere.
We got a break, but just a quick thing. Anything you've seen online about LZ Harrington is fake. We know that for a fact now. So any of those reporters that you've seen talking about LZ Harrington in his future, we don't know. He may be gone next year. He may go take an NIL deal somewhere. That could be the case. But from that one account that seemed to just grow in popularity all of a sudden, fake news. LZ Harrington was hurt. He was in a walking boot for the better part of the second half of the season. He wanted to play. He wasn't playing because he was too injured. San Diego Sports 760. Take a quick break here. On the other side, let's catch Sammy up on everything he missed in the NFL. There was a lot that happened over the 2 days he was gone. That's next. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Lake Show back tonight, coming off that big win over Denver on a Luka game-winning shot, taking on the Houston. Weird 2-game set here. Lakers will be in Houston tonight and on Houston on Wednesday. Houston is currently a slight favorite at home, 1.5. That game is going at 6:30 right here on San Diego Sports 760. The World Baseball Classic, the USA won yesterday over the Dominican Republic 2-1. They await the winner of tonight's game at 5:00 between Venezuela and Italy. Choosing the right home service company isn't just about fixing what's broken. It's about trusting who's in your home. That's why homeowners count on Anderson for friendly, professional service that keeps everything running right. Visit AndersonPHA.com.
San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2:00. Kyler Murray's deal with the Vikings coming up in just a minute. First, I did want to mention a couple things here. So Mark Ziegler reporting today that we already knew 2028 Olympic soccer was coming to Snapdragon Stadium, but there's a new twist. 11 games will be played at Snapdragon Stadium in the 2028 Summer Olympics, including men's and women's semifinals and both bronze medal games. So big games.
How about that?
Coming to Snapdragon Stadium. I like it a lot. Speaking of Snapdragon, San Diego Wave, the women's soccer team here in San Diego, just made a record signing, the biggest ever contract in the NWSL. Kat Macario, who was a star for Team USA, joining on a 4-year deal to join the Wave, making big moves, breaking records like we like to see. And SDFC with a draw. 3-3 against FC Dallas over the weekend. So they're still undefeated, but man, ties.
Unbelievable.
Ties.
How could they get a draw?
Honestly, first 3 points given up by SDFC all year came in this game against FC Dallas. They were previously 8 goals to 0 goals until this game. They give up 3. Unacceptable.
We expect more.
It's such a good start for SDFC. They just keep cruising. I was talking to Darren Smith while you were out, Sammy, and we were talking about this team, and it's like, kind of just came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden they're like the best team in all of MLS. And it's just cool.
Well, that's what it is, all seriousness. It's kind of amazing because like it's one thing not to diminish their accomplishments last year, but it's one thing to start off when no one expects anything from you and you kind of go on the Cinderella run, and they deserve all the credit in the world for that. But right, Darren was talking about this, Adrian Garcia Marquez. It's another when people are circling you on the schedule going, we want to beat SDFC. We want to take care of them because they finished in the top 4 last year, the Final Four. It is so impressive that the weakness at the beginning of last year was the offense and scoring. You don't have Chucky Lozano anymore. You don't have Milan Olaski, and it just feels like the Mikey Vares system keeps growing. So shout out to SDFC. Super cool what they're doing. And the city's totally galvanized by it.
By the way, the team that they beat from Mexico in the CONCACAF game, the Toluca team, is like the best team in all of Mexico right now. And they beat them while getting a red card early in that game. So SDFC just keeps chugging along. Dominance is what we do here in San Diego. That's just kind of the standard. All right, it is San Diego Sports 760. Speaking of San Diego, one of the most dominant quarterbacks in San Diego State history, Kevin O'Connell, is now the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. He got himself a new quarterback. I love this Kyler Murray signing. I talked a lot about it last week. Sammy, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I like it a lot as well because Kyler was the one quarterback. We've talked about this a lot. The way we look at quarterbacks now is different because it used to be if you didn't work out with your first team, you kind of were SOL. Like there really wasn't, you didn't really get second chance opportunities. If you think 20 years ago, you either cracked it with your first team or you were kind of done. And what we've seen with Sam Darnold, just won a Super Bowl. Baker Mayfield completely resurrect his career after being with the Browns. Even Geno Smith, a guy who, is obviously back with the Jets now, but had a cup of coffee there in Seattle, which was good. And Kyler Murray is that guy that could be that. He could have a big jump. He's still in his 20s. I know there's a lot of drama with he's distracted. There's the Call of Duty jokes, and there's he doesn't care about his team. But we have seen Sam Darnold didn't work with the Jets, bad organization, and Carolina. The Baker Mayfield didn't work with the Browns, didn't work there. Geno Smith didn't work with the Jets. The Cardinals are a cut above the Browns and the Jets, but they're not that far from that. The Cardinals have not had that much success in the last 20 years. And you wonder if now that he's in a real system, Kevin O'Connell, kind of the quarterback wizard. If I'm JJ McCarthy, man, I'm nervous because Kyler, I bet, outperforms him in the preseason. And unless they just give it to McCarthy right away because they want to see if they have something, I think this is Kyler's job to lose.
I was talking to our guy Jonas Knox on Friday, and he seemed to think it was already over. Like the quarterback competition isn't even a competition. Kyler Murray is the starting quarterback. They've already moved on from JJ McCarthy. And when you think about it like this, Kyler Murray is making, I think, $36 million from the Cardinals going into next year. He's making $1 million from the Vikings. The Vikings are still $20 million over the cap space. They need to figure out a way to get under that. But Kyler Murray gives them an opportunity to kind of rebuild on the fly for a year. And if he's great, you have an opportunity to cut off some other pieces and keep your core of Kyler Murray, Justin Jefferson, and whatever happens with Jordan Addison. So like the Vikings are in a position now where they could have just fixed all the issues they're facing by drafting JJ McCarthy, by bringing in Kyler on a 1 year, zero risk deal with the high side of potentially being a playoff team this year. And maybe you have to worry about signing Kyler after the fact, but that who cares? You got your quarterback at that point.
And if you're Kyler, knowing psychologically, if Kyler Murray has a good year,
he's going to get a bag and a half
from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Because if Minnesota just had to witness and be the laughing stock of the league for the last year while they let Sam Darnold go, and then they got to watch him in their conference hoisting the Lombardi trophy a month ago. I mean, they've had to listen to this about how is this guy in your building as a starting quarterback for you, and you turn to JJ McCarthy, who at times has looked absolutely lost, like he cannot be an NFL quarterback, and the front office, the ownership, they've kind of blown out the GM, everyone else besides Kevin O'Connell. So if you're Kevin O'Connell, you're like, do I really want to attach my job and my name to JJ McCarthy? Because everything we've seen so far, he has not been good enough. And it's not like he's been devoid of weapons. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. There really is no excuse why he didn't hit the ground running. Whereas a lot of the other quarterbacks, Bo Nix, Drake May, Caleb had a bunch of weapons, but no offensive line, had more excuses as why it didn't work immediately. McCarthy really has none. And if McCarthy doesn't tear it up in the preseason, I don't know where he's at in the NFL.
How about this text from the 619? I randomly saw Neo, Ricky Martin, and the Gypsy Kings at a festival in Curacao.
That's fantastic.
Last September. Never would I have thought I'd find myself seeing Neo or Ricky Martin live, but they put on fantastic and entertaining shows. The whole show felt like a music video from SoCal Jayhawk.
Dude.
Well, we have a pair of tickets for Neo coming up in August at the North Highland Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll give those away right after long shots. Sammy's over there boogieing already.
Dude, maybe a little Ricky Martin's coming out of the break.
Maybe that's what we need. All right, can't wait for long shots. See if Sammy can get us back on the right track.
I perfected this last night. I spent 30 minutes concocting a parlay.
Oh, of course,
for everyone on my day back.
Times, you have to make a winner. That's what's going on here.
Yeah,
we got a motivated Sammy Long, like Minnesota's getting a motivated Kyler Murray.
Exactly. I'm like the Kyler Murray of the show.
I bet. Yeah, about the same height. It's San Diego Sports 760. We got long shots on the other side, live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760 with walk-up music like that. Who's going to lose the long shots? No. We got a winner on our hands. Right after long shots, your chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Neo out at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Big prize coming up for somebody brand new here on San Diego Sports 760. All right, Sammy, you've been off for a couple of days. I tried my best, man, but we had a couple losers to end the week last week. I don't know if anyone actually followed mine. I think they saw I was doing picks and they said, oh, we're going to take a break for a couple of days. But I followed mine, and I lost them both.
Listen, that's all they want to hear is that you're following your own bets. I got the Kalshi app wide open
that's already.
already
Too right now. They got some fun little new things for March Madness this year.
Yeah, Kalshi's got some good stuff. This is not even a paid endorsement. This is free advertising for them right now.
For now. You hear that, Kalshi?
Kalshi, pay up.
So really, we haven't touched on the teams who are actually in March Madness yet. We will do that coming up at hour number 2. Give a first look at the bracket and everything. And we got some Padres news that, depending on how you look at it, may be a little disturbing heading into hour number 2 as well. But Sammy, let's go ahead and get to long shots here on a beautiful Monday in America's finest city, although it's on fire right now because of how hot it is. Go ahead, smash.
You looking for some luck? Want to win big? Gotta play big.
You are so money and you don't even know it.
Time to take a chance
Pay that man his money.
with long shots.
I don't know how hot it gets up where you live, Sammy, up in where your RB
Yeah.
area. La Mesa's about to be freaking hot as hell over the next couple of days.
Well, you're talking about going to spring training. This is going to be nothing compared to spring training.
Yeah, I got the forecast for me this weekend in Arizona is up around 104 degrees. We're going bowling. Getting inside.
Basically, when you live in, as someone who's lived in Palm Springs and Phoenix, basically when it gets to 120, 115, it's either pool, movie theater, or bowling. That's about the only 3 things you can do.
We got bowling set up. We got a couple of different reservations at some spots out in the town. We do have a baseball game. Now, the presumption is, and we looked this up, games rarely, if ever, get canceled during spring training. But what they will do is move it to nighttime.
Or they'll end it early.
So the tickets that we bought for a game may not actually be good. So I might just be going to Arizona to have fun.
Okay.
Which is fine too, I guess.
Yeah, you're going to have a good time out there. A great time. By the way, I had some interesting experiences on the plane that I will get to in hour 2, but very frustrated with a certain airline that has a massive presence in San Diego.
I'm going to guess it's Southwest.
It is Southwest
Sammy
Airlines.
likes to talk smack about Southwest.
I mean,
it's the only airline he flies.
I don't know why I fall for it every time. It's a whole conversation for another day. Anyway, all right, Italy, Venezuela tonight. Very excited. The U.S. over here waiting who they're going to get. We're going to stay away from the money line. So Venezuela's the favorite. I don't feel comfortable necessarily betting against Italy because Italy should not be in this situation, and yet they are.
All-time vibes.
Vinny Pasquantino for the Royals has been on an all-time heater. I mean, if you're the Royals, got to be ecstatic out there. Bobby Witt's playing great for Team USA. Vinny Pasquantino. Dante Nori, the Philadelphia's number 6 ranked prospect who's going to come up for them, has been excellent. I like the under, though, in this game. Under 10.5. So you got Keter Montero, very good pitcher, for Venezuela going, and they just did a last-minute replacement for Italy. They thought it was going to be Lorenzen. It's going to be Aaron Nola, the Philadelphia Philly. I like the under. I think people are getting a little over their skis because we've seen Italy get out to some big leads. Pasquantino I believe he had a 3-home run game the other day, and the Venezuelan team is stacked with all-stars. I mean, you got guys everywhere. Salvador Perez, Ronald Acuna. They're big names. Outside, though, of Italy does have a little bit of a leaky bullpen. And the reason that we think that they're kind of a leaky bullpen is because Team USA woke up. And Team USA, when they played them, remember, Team USA was down 8-0. Team USA really had to come back and at least make it close for the whole run differential tiebreakers. It's kind of confusing going on with WBC. But, Team USA woke up. Other than that, though, these are pretty good pitching staffs. I like Montero, Aaron Nola. They're going to take their teams deep into the 5th, 6th innings. And I think the bullpens will hold on. I like the under 10.5. This is way too big a number for me. Most Major League Baseball games hang around 7.5, 8.5. But because the WBC, because we've seen some wild scores, because of the lack of competition at times, like teams like Israel, teams like other teams that we saw Tatis destroying balls off of, I think the over-under is a little bit high. Let's go with the under 10.5 in Venezuela, Italy tonight. Hopefully it's a close game so they get after their bullpens. All right. Now this one's fun. Has everyone forgot that it's Magic City night? It's Magic City night in the ATL. And although the NBA canceled this, which
we got to eat wings tonight. Wait, the NBA canceled the event?
You didn't see this?
No.
Very disappointing from the NBA. Very disappointing. Adam Silver talking about all that nonsense.
What the hell is wrong with you, NBA?
Talking all that nonsense about, our sponsorships are going to pull out. Well, you know what?
Screw you.
I think what's disappointing is that you're not honoring a big-time establishment, a pillar of the community in Atlanta. T.I. was going to be performing at halftime.
This is anti-feminism. That's what this is. No, I'm dead serious, Sammy. It is a female owner who put this night together. She was heavily involved in producing the HBO documentary about Magic City, which is why this whole collaboration begun from the beginning. This is sickening.
I don't know why
NBA.
we're just hating on people for trying to make a dollar, earn an honest living.
You know what? I'm hating on the NBA starting right now. Boycott. What's happening?
Magic Hawks.
Okay.
Tonight.
I'll bet on it, though.
Yeah. You're going to boycott it, but you're going to bet on it. Always got to have some action on the game. We're going to go Atlanta -3.5. Now, both of these teams come in with a great record. So I believe the Hawks are on a 7-game win streak, and Orlando has won 5 straight. But looking at the injury report tonight, Jonathan Kuminga is a game-time decision for the Hawks. I think he's trending toward playing. He's been dealing with a little bit of a knee injury, came over in that trade from the Golden State Warriors at the trade deadline. But Atlanta's been fantastic. I mean, Jalen Johnson, Jonathan Kuminga, this team, Nickeil Alexander-Walker has taken a massive step in his game coming over from Minnesota, where he was really just kind of a rotational player. This is one of the highest scoring teams in the league. They average 118 points per game. That's only 2 off the Denver Nuggets at 120. I know they give up about 117 a game, but they've been playing much better ball recently on a bit of a heater. The Magic are very good. And again, they've been on a 5-game win streak, but no Franz Wagner. Anthony Black is out tonight. He's a very good defender, a player who comes off the bench at the guard spot, gives them a little bit of juice. I think they're going to be looking a little bit ahead to tomorrow night where they got Oklahoma City, sleeping on Atlanta. Give me Atlanta -3.5, repping it for Magic City tonight, despite the NBA poo-pooing all the fun.
I can't believe this. This is a travesty. This is the worst thing to happen in an NBA thing since Rudy Gobert coughed on a bunch of microphones about 5 years ago. What the hell are we doing, Adam Silver?
Yeah, he's such a Rudy Gobert, by the way, like PTI, they did an anniversary for that. Like he will forever be remembered.
Dude, he's the man who shut down the country.
Yeah.
Because he tested positive like 2 or 3 days later, didn't he?
Yeah. And then he shut down his NBA game for the next couple of years. So things, karma has a way of working itself out. Now, the text line is going to get frustrated with me.
Oh, man.
Okay?
70470, start your message with T.
Vent out your frustrations. Call Sammy a homer. Whatever you're doing. The Lakers are winning in Houston tonight. They're +1.5.
Sure.
Now, I don't love betting my Lakers because I get mad anyway when they lose.
Hashtag fade Sammy.
Here's why. Number one, the Lakers are entirely healthy outside of Maxi Kleber, who doesn't even play that much anyway. A fringe rotational player, comes off the bench for some front court minutes. Jayshawn Tate, excellent defender for Houston, out tonight. Steven Adams, Fred VanVleet, out for the year. And Alperen Şengün dealing with a back injury right now. Now, the Rockets, the best rebounding team in the NBA at 48 points per game. I'm going to give you the flip side of this. That's a problem for the Lakers. The Lakers are not a great rebounding team, bottom third. Now, DeAndre Ayton's been playing much better ball recently, as well as Jackson Hayes. Here's where I think this is too much for Houston. They do not have a point guard. Reed Shepherd, out of Kentucky, young player, has kind of had to make the transition to point guard, even though he's more of a shooting guard, because they literally ran out of bodies. Fred VanVleet was supposed to be that guy for the season. Houston has not beat a good team in a couple weeks. Every time they've stepped up in competition, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, they've got run out of the gym. They barely beat the Pelicans the other night, despite DeJounte Murray having 35 points. Luka and Reeves are going to be able to attack the guard spot for Houston. It's going to force Amen Thompson to play more defense and not focus as much offensively. The Lakers, they have a tiebreaker against Minnesota. They have a tiebreaker against Denver, and they play Houston tonight, and they play them on Wednesday for a shot for a tiebreaker against them. If that happens, they're likely the number 3 seed, which is big for the Lake Show. I think the Lakers tonight come out a lot of intensity, coming off that big win against Denver the other day on Saturday night. They're going to get a win tonight, set up a big-time showdown against Houston again on Wednesday. Give me the Lake Show +1.5 on the road at H-Town.
I took Houston.
Lakers plus 1.5 on the road. They're giving us a point, which is crazy to me. Lakers are better than Houston. Atlanta Hawks doing it for Magic City. Plus, they have a lot more length on the wings than Orlando does.
Bravo.
Minus 3.5. We like the under on Venezuela, Italy. I think people are getting a little over their skis on some of the highlights
I'm more
they've seen.
proud of you than the wings joke. Good work, Sammy. Good work, Sammy. All right. Well, some of the dancers who were going to be performing at the Magic City night in Atlanta are, in fact, coming to the Neo Show coming up on August 18th.
They probably are.
North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. If you would like a pair of tickets to that show as well, call right now, 877-767-4760. By the way, not even kidding, I did pick Houston in that game. So if you would like to fade Sammy with me, feel free.
Why would you fade Sammy? How did that work out for you with Fletch last week?
How's it worked out for us anytime we've ever picked the Lakers under your recommendation?
First off,
it's literally ever.
The Lakers are coming through. I'm telling you right now.
One time when picking the Lakers has actually worked out well for long shots.
They are winning this game tonight. I'm telling you, it's happening. They're winning this game.
On the road.
On the road.
Sure. San Diego Sports 760. Call right now for those Neo tickets, 877-767-4760. Sammy, what caller do you want to give these to?
Let's do caller number 9.
All right, caller number 9, you're winning the tickets. We got a big hour coming up. First of all, review on the Forbidden Glizzy. Second of all, started a new HBO show. Kind of like it, kind of disturbed by it. Third of all, Padres news, not good news. Just keep listening to hear. Fourth of all, what am I missing? There was one more thing we were going to do in hour 2.
NBA expansion. Is San Diego getting a team?
That's the one. San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Lakers won 7 of 8. They'll be taking on Houston tonight in Houston, and the Lakers are 1.5-point dogs in that one. They'll be playing them today, and they'll be playing them again on Wednesday in Houston as well. World Baseball Classic, America waiting the winner of Venezuela, Italy. That game is going. First pitch is at 5 o'clock. Keter Montero going for Venezuela, and Aaron Nola will be going for Italy. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone. They've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the Fletch Zone.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
Well, don't keep us in suspense any longer. Show us what you got.
A tough weekend for the Aztecs, and the committee says no. But the field of 68 is set.
Loads. Explodes. Goal. Stay on the target. Goal, San Diego FC.
SDFC remains unbeaten after a tie in Dallas.
Tatis hits the third. Ball from Judge. Right there. He's gone.
Nothing personal, Fernando.
Mason Miller's 8th pitch to Perdomo. It is on the championship.
Team USA takes down the Dominican Republic to reach the WBC final. Plus,
I got UCLA covering the spread against Michigan State. I got Arizona winning by 4.5 points. And I got Bruno Silva winning straight up.
I'm going to be constructive here. That was terrible.
now let's hit inside the studios of San Diego Sports 760 and get into the Fletch Zone.
Well, here we go, gang. After that glowing endorsement from Big Voice Guy, I feel fantastic about myself. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. All right, this week on San Diego Sports 760, obviously one of our biggest ones of the year. We got play-by-play every single day coming at you a whole bunch of different ways. So grab a pen, write this down, and just keep listening. We'll say this a few more times today. Tonight, Lakers, Rockets, 6:15. Sammy picked Lakers. I picked Rockets. You'll hear that game here on 760. Tomorrow, starting at 3:30, we got NCAA tournament first 4 games, 1 and 2. And then on Wednesday, same thing, starting at 3:30. Thursday, Friday, all day long, baby. It is bracketology. It is the NCAA tournament from start to finish. So 9 a.m. starting on both Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. We will have the entirety of the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament broadcasted right here on San Diego Sports 760.
Oh, it's the best. 9 o'clock, wake open, crack open a beer. It's a couple of the best days of the year in the sports calendar.
You starting with a beer right at the first game?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the plan?
Well, usually my one friend kind of hosts it all.
Okay.
Later in the day.
You have almost like a red zone atmosphere where you have multiple TVs, so you have multiple.
Yeah, he has
going.
this like projection setup.
Sure.
So he kind of like takes over a wall and then puts a couple other TVs up. He likes to do. I'm gonna get clowned for this, mimosas, which I was like, it's a little.
Aww.
I know. I was like, we're not at a bridal brunch, but hey, I'm also not the one buying all the alcohol.
Madness Mosas.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, Thursday, Friday. That's come on.
Thursday, Friday, they're up there for my 2 favorite days of the sports calendar, period. End of discussion. Can't wait for it. In fact, this time of year might be my favorite time on the sports calendar. We don't have football, which makes it a bit of a bummer. But when you think about what we got coming up, the next, month is going to be taken over by college basketball, which is probably bar none my favorite sport to watch on a regular basis. And then right after that, you got the Masters coming up. Opening day in baseball is like a GD holiday in my book. And then right beyond that, we got big stuff coming this summer with the World Cup coming this summer. The other stuff too that I'm not thinking about right now, but it is a really busy time for the sports calendar, and I love it, every second of it. But also just waiting for September to roll around so we can get football back in our lives on a daily basis. All right, San Diego Sports 760. I teased a Padres story that's not exactly the best one, although not really unexpected. So Joe Musgrove, we knew it would be a challenge for him to get back and be Joe Musgrove heading into this year. Although I don't think many people expected him to start on the injured list. And that is where Joe Musgrove is going to start for this season. Now, Craig Stammen talked about the fact that, look, we knew it was going to be hard to ramp him up to get him to be a viable starter that can throw for 5 innings and 90 plus pitches. We knew that was going to be a challenge heading into the season. But to start him off on the IL, I don't want to make everyone scared and say something like there's been some sort of setback. He's coming back from Tommy John surgery. While this may have been expected, I do get nervous with the San Diego Padres and their reporting of injuries, with this being Joe Musgrove's case, because all offseason long, I think we all were expecting that it would be a opening day Joe Musgrove's ready to go based on how he was ramping things up. And to hear now that, remember, it was a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, we heard Joe Musgrove is going to take some time off and a little bit of extended rest. And we were told, oh, that's no worry. And now earlier today, Craig Stammen gets to the microphone. He says, yeah, we're probably going to start Joe off on the IL. That doesn't make me feel great as somebody who wants to root on the Padres opening day, thinking they'll be at full strength, because clearly they won't be.
Yeah, well, it's a concern because, I mean, we've been talking about it for months now. It's been the most pressing conversation in San Diego. It's like, you feel good about the top three. You feel good about Musgrove, Pivetta, and King, but we know because of 162 games, and injuries are going to happen. They're a big part of the season. They were a massive part of the season last year for the Padres. Michael King out for months on end. And then it kind of gives you a little revisionist history, a little trauma there, because if we remember, Yu Darvish, the same kind of thing happened. Yu Darvish coming off an injury, then 3 weeks before the season, a couple weeks before the season, we're here, oh, he's not going to be ready for opening day, but it'll only be a couple weeks. And then arm fatigue. And then all of a sudden it was a month. And then every time we asked Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, what was going on, I mean, he kind of be like, I don't know. The Padres are not giving us anything. And then all of a sudden it's 2.5 months before he's making a debut. And although it is nice to bring Joe Musgrove along slowly, because that's kind of the Padres ace card, is that he comes back and can be a dominant pitcher, you just put so much pressure on Pivetta and King to stay healthy. And the Padres don't have the luxury, the depth of the starting pitching staff to be having sustained injuries for weeks and months on end to their top three, because then it's Randy Vasquez, it's Walker Buehler, it's German Marquez, and you're hoping that one of these guys hits. But again, there's a reason why Walker Buehler is a free agent. There's a reason why German Marquez, Griffin Canning, when he comes back, were all available for the money they were at. You can't be relying on these guys to be, trying to get you in the postseason picture. You need the three guys, Musgrove, King, and Pivetta, to be your aces. And then whatever you get after that is bonus. So yeah, it's concerning. It's concerning for Joe Musgrove that he's going to start the season on the IL, and definitely alarming right now.
So correct me if I'm wrong. They have three, Pivetta, King, Vasquez. You're assuming are three in your starting rotation come opening day.
Vasquez will slide in that 3 spot.
Vasquez is in it as far as I'm concerned. And I think that the reports about him have been largely positive in spring training this year. So it looks like Pivetta, King, Vasquez, and then left to compete, Buehler, Marquez, JP Sears, Marco Gonzalez, Tristan McKenzie, and then Matt Waldron, hemorrhoids, maybe not.
But he's got to ramp up. He's been out for the last couple of weeks.
Right. I think they're planning on pitching him tomorrow or the next day. I can't remember, but he's going to be piggybacking on whoever's starting the game. And then, is that it? Am I missing anyone?
Well, yeah, Canning has to ramp up because he's still hurt right now.
But those are the guys. So you're looking for two people to step up between Walker Buehler, German Marquez, JP Sears, Marco Gonzalez, Tristan McKenzie, and Matt Waldron.
Buehler's going to be one of them.
Is that an official thing? Like what's he done the last couple of years to assume that he should be in a spot?
Well, that's the point. He has not been the Walker Buehler that was with the Dodgers, 4 or 5 years ago. That was one of the best pitchers.
But
in
at
baseball.
least he has experience. So you're just going to throw him out there in that 4th spot.
Yeah, I mean, you take that over German Marquez. It's that German Marquez and JP Sears have just as bad at numbers as Walker Buehler, but at least Walker Buehler, has done it before, has pitched in big moments. Hell, he closed out a World Series for the Dodgers. I mean, this is a guy who's pitched in big games, and you're not scared to throw out there. But yeah, it's definitely concerning that we're already having this conversation, a week and a half out from opening day.
Not to mention it was a week and a half ago that Nick Pivetta also had arm fatigue. So it's just worrisome. Next Thursday, is that right? Next Thursday is opening day for San Diego Padres. And it looks like they still got some things to figure out. On the back end, I feel great about the bullpen. I really do. And I'm feeling really good about the way Tatis and Manny are playing in the World Baseball Classic. Maybe that translates. Not yesterday, but you know what? They were going against the best. Or sorry, Juan Soto said they were the best. Yeah. Must have. What's
with Juan Soto in the Dominican Republic, and then Canada and Nathan McKinnon and hockey talking about when you lose that you're better than the team that just beat you? Like, be quiet.
I'll quote the late great James Franco, who's very much still alive. They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Shout out to the interview.
San Diego Sports 760. Sammy, go ahead and smash it for Big 3 hour number 2.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
Dude, these spam text messages you get are starting to get out of control. I mean, have you gotten the one yet that's like, oh, we've just deposited some $1,000 into your bank account.
Oh, yeah.
Click here to accept the funds. Stop playing with my emotions like that, spammers. All right, Sammy, where are we going?
Let's go back to the Aztecs. Obviously, not selected for March Madness. We touched on it at the top of the show. Do you like them not accepting an NIT invite?
I love it. Maybe not for the reasons that most Aztec fans would kind of get up there and thump their chest a little bit. I do think, and this is going to sound bad, that the NIT is just beneath them. Not the NIT of 10 years ago. Like, the NIT used to actually mean something, and like teams like North Carolina would go play in it on a down year. Like, it used to mean something. It really doesn't anymore. If you accept an invitation to the NIT, you're looking for the payment that comes along with it. And that's fine, especially if you get to host a few games and squeeze out some extra money for your school by paid attendance and stuff. And I get that side of it. San Diego State wouldn't have had that as an option anyways. They would have had to rent a different arena around San Diego to host their games in. And I just don't think that they were all that interested in doing it. But also from the standpoint of Miles Heide injured his wrist, hand, something severely in that game against New Mexico, to the point where he wasn't playing against Utah State. LZ Harrington's been dealing with a leg injury now for weeks and weeks and weeks. Miles Bird almost had to come out of the championship game because of his leg. So I don't think San Diego State was in a position to play any more games. They would have gutted it out for an NCAA tournament. But I just think that it was time for this season to come to an end.
Yeah, it obviously wasn't the season the Aztecs wanted. I'm with you. I didn't think that was smart. I mean, the NIT it's the NIT. I mean, 68 teams make the field, and if you're not one of them, playing the NIT is not what it used to be. The Aztecs are above that, and this season will get looked back will be looked upon as a disappointing season, which is a good thing. You don't want the expectation to be, oh, they just had a good season, or oh, they tried hard. Like that's what a lot of small market teams, not that San Diego's small market, kind of play by the rules. A lot of Major League Baseball teams do that. The Marlins, the A's, it's like, oh, we won this amount of games. The Aztecs have went to a blue blood type program where people look at San Diego State, and that's why they have gotten criticism for not making the tournament. And again, that's a good thing because of the standard that they've built the last 10 seasons. I think it is right to regroup. The Aztecs will be right back in the picture next year, and obviously the expectation will be to make March Madness, but just a down year for them. But it does happen to the best of them. North Carolina, Duke, it's happened in previous years, so we'll see what happens in that regard. All right, looking at who is in the bracket field, what number one seed is on upset alert to not get out of their region?
Ooh, well, Duke's region is brutal. If you've taken a look at it, their path to even a Elite Eight is horrific for Duke to try to get through. I'll tell you, the more I look at it, and I haven't done the deep dive yet of mapping out every single bracket. I know Sammy and I are in a bracket with his friends, and then I'm in a bracket here at work too. I do think Michigan is going all the way. That is kind of my pick. I just think that you're not going to be able to beat that size all the way through. I have a feeling Arizona is going to do the Arizona thing and look amazing for a few games and then drop an absolutely terrible game and get knocked out inexplicably in the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight. But give me Duke to struggle to get out of their side of the bracket. Give me Michigan as my very early Monday of March Madness full winner.
Well, Duke is the obvious. Duke is brutal because you got Ngangba and Caleb Foster. They already have a small rotation. They only play 8 guys at Duke, and 2 of their guys are out. We'll see if Ngangba can return this weekend. Foster is out until the Final Four, so they're already dealing with some injuries. I mean, look at the coaches you're playing. You're playing Kansas, a 4 seed, Bill Self, St. John's on a heater, Rick Pitino. You got Tom Izzo, the 3 seed, Michigan State, UConn with Dan Hurley. I mean, you got blue bloods upon blue bloods in that side of the bracket. You know, KU, best player in Darren Peterson, but they've struggled. St. John's might be the hottest team. I mean, St. John's is the 5 seed, and UConn's the 2, and St. John's just whooped up on them in the Big East tournament a couple days ago.
By the way, UCLA's in that side of the bracket. UCLA played some really good basketball in their conference tournament, man.
I mean, so Duke, especially with the injuries, should be on upset alert, but I am going to go with Arizona because if you look at Arizona, just like looking at the bracket, Purdue, I think, is maybe one of the weaker 2 seeds, but no one's talking about Gonzaga at the 3 spot. It's one of the best defensive teams Mark Few has ever had at that program. BYU got AJ DeBonsto, who's a 6 seed. And then you got old friend Nick Boyd of Wisconsin, who's been on a heater recently.
Arkansas's in there. They've been on fire.
Darius Acuff, he's going to be a lottery pick. So I do think this is a year where I don't think this is a lot of just 1 and 2 seeds. I think if you look at 3, 4, and 5 seeds, think DeBonsta's at 6. Or 6 seed with BYU. Peterson's a 4 seed with Kansas. Acuff's a 4 seed with Arkansas. We've seen big time players, especially lottery picks, take over down the stretch here. I think we might see some upsets on this side of the bracket.
I like it. Wednesday we're gonna do a big time betting NCAA tournament show, so that'll come up on Wednesday. Coming up right after Big 3, number 3, I'm gonna tell you the trend that is undeniable of why Michigan is winning it all this year. But Sammy, what's your final?
Well, we can get to it on the other side because we're up against the clock here. But the NBA is looking to expand to 2 new cities. Is San Diego on that list? We're going to tell you next. And could they be in the future?
Did Sammy Long just hit a tease?
Little teaser?
Did Sammy Long just hit a tease? Oh, well, yes, that is coming up next. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760 coming up on Thursday, March 26th. It's our iHeartRadio Music Awards. They're coming back live on Fox. Watch as we honor the biggest stars from all genres of music that you love listening to all year long on the free iHeartRadio app, hosted by Luda, featuring Innovator Award recipient Miley Cyrus and Breakout Award recipient Alex Warren, with performances from Lainey Wilson, TLC, Salt and Peppa, and more to be announced. Think you're the biggest fan of one of those nominees? We want to see it. Record a video telling the world why you love your favorite nominee and tag iHeartRadio on TikTok. We'll choose the best video and play it during the show. Watch live on Fox Thursday, March 26th at 8 o'clock and listen on the free iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. John Schaefer will take over then. The Lakers must have had a pretty good stretch of games because all of a sudden Chino Iglesias is back in the studios.
The man.
Studio?
The man is in studio. You want to hop on? Get in here.
Come on, because you would actually be good for this conversation.
Yes, I know. See, Chino is easily one of my favorite people in the building, my fellow Laker fan. So when we're winning, we got to chop it up a little bit.
Yeah, when they're winning, all of a sudden Chino's here. And
wait, hold on.
What's up?
I'm a realist.
Okay,
I'm a realist. That game, Marcus Smart with the steal, AR with the YMCA play,
He's talking about Austin Reeves throwing it off the free throw.
Listen, everything started happening except for Ayton. Didn't make me too happy. He played well in overtime, but that reminded me of 2010 Lakers. Not player comparison, but the energy that we got as a Laker fan base in 2010. Those guys were scrappy. They would do whatever.
Against Houston tonight, I'm taking Houston minus 1.5. Sammy's taking Lakers plus 1.5. You're at Houston. Go, Mr. Realist, be real.
I'm being real. I want to see Ayton back up his I'm not Clint Capella, nonsense. Because listen, bro, that is the matchup I'm looking for.
Sure. All right.
Is those two guys.
Now, there is a story popping out in the NBA. We all knew this was coming. They're going to be expanding. I think they're going to say 2 teams. I think I have that right, Sammy. Yeah. One of them is going to be Las Vegas. We can all just say that and agree with that.
Of course. And the other one's the Sonics.
Up in Seattle.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you think that's a done deal?
Why wouldn't it be?
Earlier, so what they're saying is that Seattle and Vegas going to get a team. Makes sense. Seattle loved that team when they had the Supersonics. They supported them well. Vegas, as we've seen, has, people wondered because it's such a tourist town, could they support a team? The Raiders obviously are beloved. Vegas, the Golden Knights are beloved. And then you got the A's coming. So, and then it looks like...
but it is kind of weird for Las Vegas because I think, yes, the Las Vegas Raiders are working in Vegas and so are the Golden Knights, but the Golden Knights are almost like, hey, it's another show in Las Vegas. And you get people who are coming into town for a weekend. They play into
that, yeah.
And they are part of that. It's like a Cirque du Soleil show that you can buy a ticket and go see. The Raiders, the fan base is not in Las Vegas. I'm right about that, right, Chino?
You're correct about that.
It's in LA, it's in Oakland even, and people travel in to see their Raiders.
We're everywhere. Okay.
Yeah, and Raiders have one of the best fan bases in the country.
And a lot of us went out and bought the PSLs. We got the licenses and we're flipping them because we don't want to go watch a team that's terrible. So let's sell it to the Broncos and the Steelers and the Packers and everybody that comes into town.
So that's what makes me hesitate about an NBA team, because where's your fan base drawing from? It's not like you're moving the Clippers to Las Vegas and you have Clippers fans who maybe have some sort of attachment who will go out to watch.
I think there are enough people out there to support an NBA team. I think the same for San Diego. Same for San Diego, because people are going to go out there and watch. The true test for Las Vegas is half of 162 games for those A's and see who's going to show up.
Right.
Are they going to build organically? Is it going to be one of those things? Oh, here it's circus all over again or whatever.
Well, and the happiest man in the entire NBA is Anthony Edwards. So if Minnesota is going to the Eastern Conference, Anthony Edwards keeps going to the Western Conference Final and losing every year to Oklahoma City, running into San Antonio now is in the picture. You got so much young talent in the West. The teams that get to go to the East, if that's Minnesota, makes more sense. Minnesota is more geographically located. I mean, Anthony Edwards, is he going to dominate the East like we saw LeBron for years?
Michael Jordan's son will run the table.
Are you buying into that conspiracy?
100%.
I love
100%.
Ant-Man, Batman, Superman.
Let's go.
Lakers in 5. What do you think?
Yeah, he got us there.
All right, it is San Diego Sports 760. We got Chino Iglesias stopping by. Chino, you lived in Arizona for a little bit,
I was there for 9 years, yeah.
All right, I'm going out there for this weekend for like a bachelor party / spring training thing, and it's about to be 104 degrees. What do I need to do?
Just stay hydrated. I mean, there's a lot to do out there.
Yeah, but I'm going to be drinking.
I told him pool time.
Just stay hydrated, bro.
Pool time.
Yeah. drink water in between each beer or whatever you drink. I don't know what you drink, but make sure you stay hydrated.
Everything, Chino. We drink everything.
May I also announce something? Okay, for anybody that might be going to the Fluffy and Joe Coy show at SoFi Stadium on Saturday, get there early, 5 o'clock. I'll be opening the show.
Oh, and with a DJ set or a comedy set?
No, I'm DJing.
You should do comedy.
Knock, knock.
You should do some comedy.
Dude, dad jokes.
We got real celebrities stopping by.
The fact that freaking your cousin, Gabriel Iglesias, is selling out SoFi.
Dude, him and Joe Coy, it's amazing what they've done.
What other comedian can do that? Like Shane Gill has sold out some football stadium. I think Notre Dame's football stadium. And I think he's trying to sell out the Link, Philadelphia's football stadium, but I don't think he's doing it.
Well, who's done that? Kevin Hart did
Kevin Hart did
that.
But Gabriel Iglesias.
Gabe did 2 nights at Dodger Stadium. He's done other huge venues, but SoFi is another level, man.
The really Mexican fan base really does run deep.
Well, it's Joe Coy too, so it's Mexican and Filipino together, man. You get chicken adobo burritos. It's amazing.
This is Saturday night. This is Saturday night.
Saturday night, yeah. Sold out,
man.
Sold out. You could probably hit up a scalper.
Ticket?
You know how many people have hit me up for tickets, man?
No, I'm not going to squeeze you
too.
like that.
Yeah,
family too. And I'm like, wait, what? Where were you when I needed something?
What song are you opening up your set with?
You know, I think what's going to happen is I'm doing the first 30-minute set, and then Joe Coy's DJ is doing the second 30-minute set, and I feel like he's going to hit him with the Filipino vibes, hip hop, and all that. I think I'm going to go old school. I'm really going to go Mexican regional. I'm going to have people drinking early.
Why don't you get to do the whole hour? We don't need Joe Coy's DJ.
No, he's a great guy. You know, he's a great guy. I appreciate that, but Turbulence is a great guy.
That's very cool. So that's Saturday night at SoFi?
Yes, sir. And it's second time I've DJ'd SoFi.
One night only, or is it?
It's one night only, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Authentic, man.
All
right, it's San Diego Sports 760. We got a break, but when we come back, HBO, I don't know if it's a recommendation or not, but it's something that's happening on HBO, and more on this Padres pitching situation. That's next. San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. Thank you, Chino.
The sport's sponsored by Odoo.com. All your business apps in one place. WBC action tonight. The America awaits the winner of Venezuela and Italy. Montero will be going for Venezuela, while Aaron Nola will be going for Italy. And the Lake Show are back tonight, taking on the Rockets in H-Town at 6:30. Hear that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. Houston is a slight favorite at 1.5. Your business deserves tools to make you feel in control, not overwhelmed. With Odoo's all-in-one, easy-to-use platform, everything is together so you can focus on what matters. Start at Odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
San Diego Sports 760. I was having a thought just a moment ago. And I love me some Chino Iglesias, Sammy. One of my favorite people in this building. I love his passion for his teams. But do we all realize the flex that Chino just tried to pull on us? I'm not falling for it, by the way.
What flex? That he's DJing?
For anyone who's listening, I just want to promote a sold out event. Like any of us could actually get tickets, Chino. I'm playing SoFi Stadium sold out because Chino Iglesias and Joe Coy are performing there. So if you want tickets, screw you, but I'm doing it, and it's very, very cool.
Dude, Chino's the man in this building.
Yeah, he just wanted to come in here and say, "Yeah, see this bicep? Good luck putting your hand around it." I'm
just gonna be on stage at SoFi in front of
110. I think you can buff it out a little bit.
Oh yeah, because you get the floor seats.
Yeah.
110,000 going to be DJing a little set. No biggie. Don't worry about it.
Also, the fact that a comedian can sell out SoFi Stadium is outrageous. It's honestly incredible. The fan base that Gabriel Iglesias has is unreal. Like, Dice sold out Madison Square Garden back in the 90s, and I don't know how many.
Yeah, 2 nights in a row. He's the first guy to ever do it.
Right, which is crazy. It's one of the most insane things ever to happen in the world of comedy. But is it 35,000 seats at Madison Square Garden?
Something like that.
Something like that. Triple it. That's what Gabriel Iglesias is about to do at SoFi Stadium. It's just insane. But good for Chino coming on our show and flexing that he's going to be DJing to a sold-out SoFi Stadium that you can't get tickets to even if you wanted to. So thank you, Chino, for that. All right, really quickly here before we get back to the Padres. I started a show on HBO last night. My wife and I, instead of watching the Oscars, the World Baseball Classic game finished up. I was going to turn on the Oscars, and then I was like, kind of lame. Sammy, you watched. Was it lame?
I watched the entire Oscars, and they kept trying to... They had some new categories where they were trying to, I believe
there was a tie at the Oscars. Like, what are we even
There was
doing?
a tie, and they both got up and talked. And then, like, did you see, and we'll get back to your story, but did you see that whole Chalamet thing where he called out, where he called out like ballet dancers and stuff like that?
No.
Because so last week he was like on a podcast and he's like, yeah, ballet and opera. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't really see that as an art form. Like, yeah, like who does? And then all these like, actors and actresses are like getting up there like freaking out about Timothy Chalamet saying this. So like ballet's an art form. Like, shut up and accept the award. Like,
I know Michael B. Jordan's getting a lot of crap. Like he stole the award from Timothy Chalamet. I saw Sinners. I really liked it. I thought Michael B. Jordan was really good in it.
No, I think Michael B. Jordan should have won that.
I didn't see Marty Supreme, the Timothy Chalamet.
It was movie. Good, but I think Michael B. Jordan should have won.
I thought Michael B. Jordan was great in Sinners. I also really liked One Battle After Another, and that won Best Picture. So I guess by my metric, everything happened as it should have happened.
Yeah, it was good seeing Conan. It was too long. It's like too many categories.
Now, on the other hand, I don't know if I can actually recommend this show because it's extremely uncomfortable the entire time I was watching it. It was me and my wife last night sitting down. We watched the first 2 episodes. I think that's all that's out. There may be a 3rd episode. But HBO, it's Jason Bateman and David Harbour, the guy from Stranger Things. Yeah. And Linda Cardellini, Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Oh, my.
But it's called DTF St. Louis, and it is an extremely uncomfortable show, man.
What does that stand for, DTF?
I think you know what it means, Sammy. It's down to clown, down to fun.
In St. Louis. What is it about that?
Yeah, so it's an app that Jason Bateman convinces David Harbour to download to cheat on your wife.
Wow.
And this whole story kind of spins off of that. It's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer and it's in the first episode pretty much immediately, but David Harbour dies.
Sounds like, really?
Yeah, it's in the trailer. It's in the, like, really quickly in the first episode. And then the whole show is like flashbacks to when he was alive and the story that led up to his death. Kind of crazy.
So a little light watch before bed?
It's not light. It's like considered a dark humor, and it is funny. Like David Harbour, the guy from Stranger Things, is wearing a fat suit because he actually went and got ripped after he signed on to be a part of this show.
Because he did the Violent Night movie.
He did Violent Night and the new Avengers movie. And so he's actually kind of ripped now, but the character he was supposed to be playing when this show was written was supposed to be a fat guy. So he had to wear a fat suit for the character, which is pretty obvious, but it is funny, I guess.
I'm gonna check it out today. I thought about watching that last night.
Wildly uncomfortable is all I'll say.
It is funny how like the Oscars and all the shows that come out, everything is so dark. Like it's like if you have a happy ending in a movie, it's like it's not gonna get nominated. Now it's like because everything used to always kind of tie up and put a bow on it. Now it's like it needs to be some depressing ending, and then it's like, all right, well now you're up for the Academy Award.
Depressing and dark and kind of funny. Our buddy Jamar saying DTF St. Louis gets better and better each episode. Look,
if Jamar's tapping in, I'm definitely tapping in.
I think I enjoyed what I watched last night. I'm just not 100% positive on it. 484 says Handyman Matt's going to be at Viejas Friday for all sessions. Fletch, I challenge you to a Friday drink off.
I'm thinking about trying to grab tickets to KU's game at night.
You probably don't even need to pay for them, Sammy, but
really?
just you could probably go. I think we could make that happen. I am going to be out in Arizona for some spring training action, but Handyman Matt, I will still have a Friday drink off with
Handyman Matt, if I'm there, we'll grab a beer.
It'll just be virtual. I'll be on in a different
Zoom.
state, but I promise you beers will be consumed. I am curious if I'm allowed back in the Dierks Bentley bar in Scottsdale.
That's right by the mall. That's a little hot spot in Scottsdale.
I got kicked out of it one time. Do you think they hold on to that forever? Because they do the facial recognition thing.
No, they've kicked out a gazillion people from that bar.
Hopefully, we'll see. It's actually the same group of guys I'm going with this time was the same group of guys on my bachelor party that got kicked out of that bar.
Actually, you're a dude, so maybe they'll hold a grudge. If you were like a girl, they'd be like, yeah,
dude,
you're fine.
So we got kicked out of that place, and then no other bar in Old Town Scottsdale? Old Town Scottsdale would let us back in.
Because they're all owned by the same group.
And they all use the same software. So it's like we'd walk up and it'd be a little iPad looking at me and it says boop boop and nope, you're out. Like a robot kicked us out of all the bars.
I wish someone could get footage of you trying to get in and then throwing you out. That would just be
the footage of me was not what was interesting that night, Sammy. It was the footage of the guy who was the problem that night would be the interesting footage.
858 says Fletch, I can't get enough of DTF.
A pretty good show.
What kind?
First 2 episodes. Pretty good show.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
It's intense. There's a couple of shows on HBO now that are supposed to be good. Steve Carell has the new one, The Rooster.
Yeah.
That I want to watch. And then what's the other one? Oh, Euphoria, new season coming out soon.
That you talk about depressing. I'm like, this friend group cannot have this many problems in Euphoria.
And all still be in high school when they're like 35 years old.
Yeah,
there's a couple of question marks there. All right, Padres, if you missed the news, Joe Musgrove is looking like he's going to be starting the season on IL. Not good news for the Padres. So an already thin starting rotation for the San Diego Padres. Now we're sitting, a week and 4 days away from opening day, is more thin. Now, the bonus that the Padres have is that really for the first month and a half of their season, for the first time in a few years, they have a ton of off days. So if you're talking about doing literally live tryouts for the pitching rotation, you got some time to try to squeeze guys in. And I think everybody gets a shot at it. Walker Buehler will get a shot at it. Matt Waldron, who's recovering from surgery, will get a shot at it. Herman Marquez, maybe it was the Coors Field curse that was cursing him all these years. So everybody's going to get a crack at it, but you don't feel great about this Padres starting rotation here, a week and a half away from opening day in dealing with injuries.
Well, this is where the pay disparity, the Padres pay a lot of money to players, but the Dodgers,
they're top 6 in baseball this year.
Top 6. So it actually doesn't really apply to the Padres, but I mean, last year the Dodgers were an example of this. The Dodgers,
it's where the money goes too. It's like the Padres have 3 people on their offense who are making an absolute boatload of cash.
Right. And 2 of them don't always perform at the highest level.
Right.
And
all 3 of them, you could argue.
You could argue that as well. I mean, the Dodgers last year were able to put Blake Snell on ice. They put Tyler Glasnow on ice. Roki Sasaki didn't pitch from, I believe, June till literally a couple weeks before the playoffs. And they have the luxury of doing that. That's what's concerning about the Padres is if the Padres were in a division where it was just the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are the best team in baseball, back-to-back champs, they should be the favorites. But if you had a division where it felt like it was kind of the Padres surefire to come in second and then a bunch of other random teams, I would be okay with this injury early. I think the Padres talent of the bullpen and of the starting lineup can kind of overcome that. The problem though, which is why I think Fangraphs, even though it has dropped their win total from 86 to 79, is because I don't think people are accounting for the Giants and the Diamondbacks getting better. The Diamondbacks had a down year. The Diamondbacks had a year where they were kind of a sleeper pick, just like the Padres were last year. And Burns got hurt. A lot of their guys kind of went through some injuries. The bullpen was terrible. And then the Giants make the big trade a month or two into the season and were never able to fully recover. They still have a great pitching staff. So the Giants and Diamondbacks have gotten better. And I think it's a weird spot for the Padres because they're kind of neutral. I think when they're fully healthy, the Padres are a better team than the Diamondbacks and the Giants. But with Joe Musgrove not there, if this starting pitching staff takes even more hits, I mean, you can't fall too far behind these NL West standings because the Diamondbacks and the Giants are right there with you.
And the question that I don't really want to ask, and probably no one wants to ask, is what can you actually expect from Joe Musgrove this year? Like, if this is how everything is starting off, and maybe it was expected by the Padres to start him on the IL. That's certainly not something that was communicated to the fan base. But what are you expecting from Joe Musgrove if this is how it's all starting for Joe Musgrove? Is it 15 starts? Because that's not an acceptable number to me.
Well, that's what's also frustrating is because the Padres could have solved all this if they just spent the money and got one player in a Framber Valdez.
Right.
I know they tried with Merrill Kelly, didn't work out. If you had got a surefire starter, a loss of Joe Musgrove wouldn't hurt as much versus all these shots at the dartboard with German Marquez, Griffin Canning, Walker Buehler. It's like if these guys don't come through and they are the guys which are why they were free agents to begin with, you're really screwed.
And we did get news at the end of last week that all of the 4 potential suitors to buy the Padres were in Peoria as early as last week. Maybe we get news within this week of who's going to be the next owner of the team, potentially. The other storyline, which we'll get to on the other side, is Manny and Tatis are now done with the World Baseball Classic, so they're going back to meet the team. What to do with Mason Miller? He's now pitched 2 ninth innings in a row for Team USA. Is he going to be available for the final? Does that negatively impact the Padres? We'll talk about it next. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, it's Fletch for the Valley View Casino and Hotel. By the way, they are sponsoring all of our NCAA tournament coverage here on San Diego Sports 760. But you need to get out to Valley View Casino and Hotel today and every day between now and March 27th because you got to qualify to win the 3Cs event. Cash, and more cash. This month's winner can go home with $35,000 in cash or risk it all and spin for the ultimate prize of $100,000 on their cash wheel, plus an additional $30,000 in cash and free more play are going to be given away to 70 lucky winners throughout the night. This is how you earn entries. You can simply earn entries throughout the month by playing slots or table games and activate your entries the day of the giveaway, March 27th, at the guest service kiosks located throughout the casino. You don't want to miss this. The 3Cs coming up on March 27th. Get there now so you can start qualifying at the Valley View Casino and Hotel. All Players Club members are eligible to win. If you're not a Players Club member yet, get out there today. Signing up is always quick, easy, and free. Plus, when you join the Players Club, you're going to get over $200 in free offers instantly to use at San Diego's favorite casino, like $10 of more play, which is free slot play, $10 of match play, $20 off your meal at the Black and Blue Steakhouse, and $10 to Patties and Pints, plus plenty more. And when you upgrade your card from red card to blue card status, you're going to get 2 free Maine lobster buffets. The more you use your Players Club card on all your favorite slots or table games, the more rewards you're going to earn, like more entries into the cash, and more cash giveaway, where one lucky winner is going to walk away with 35 grand and a chance to spin up to $100,000. All guests 21 and over are invited to enjoy the casino, hotel, and restaurants. To learn more, visit valleyviewcasino.com. I'll tell you, if the Padres get in the way of Mason Miller closing the final game for Team USA, I'd actually be kind of pissed at Craig Stammen.
Oh, yeah.
It is a conversation, by the way, and they're having it. Craig Stammen's been texting with DeRosa, apparently trying to figure out where Mason Miller's at. But if Mason Miller doesn't get the close in the finale and it's a close game, I'd be pretty pissed.
Trust me, Craig Stammen does not want his first before he's ever pitched a game, or not pitched a game, managed a game for the Padres to be the villain for Team USA. That is not a good look for Craig Stammen.
We're going to pull Mason Miller. We're worried about his arm.
By the way,
week one. Screw that.
This wears me out. You got Skubal, who goes for one game.
Soft as hell, dude.
And the Tigers basically, without confirming it, basically made him come back because Skubal
I don't care how many apologies he needs to give to a camera. It's Skubal, you are soft, dude. Paul Skeens yesterday, badass.
But I think it's more the Tigers' fault. The Tigers clearly were like, we don't want Skubal pitching.
Yeah. Which they're protecting their trade asset. But if you're Skubal, you can always say, screw you.
I just have a problem. It's like, if you're going to do this, if this is going to be an issue where you're going to not let pitchers go, teams are going to call them back to spring training, then move the WBC. Put the WBC in February. Put the WBC at some other time of year where when you're leading up to opening day, if Mason Miller is not pitching, that sucks. Like if that happens, that'd be really disappointing.
Fun show today, gang. Appreciate everybody who's been along with it. Sammy, it's good to have you back.
It's good to see you, buddy.
Safe and sound, home in San Diego, where you belong. Not out there in Arizona, where it's just
it's too warm.
It's too warm, man. And I'm going there this week. I don't know why. But we are about done for today. I will tell you, I had the Forbidden Glizzy today, which if you've never heard of it, don't do it. It's a bad idea. My stomach is not doing.
Why
great.
do you guys do this to yourself?
So Rich Ornberger, myself, and Kat Fisher all went to Costco right after the show today because we figured if there's one thing that's going to make Travis Dale jealous, who was out sick today, it would be us going to the Costco food court together after the show. Rich and I did the Forbidden Glizzy, which is you take a chicken bake, you cut open one end of it, you shove a hot dog inside the chicken bake, and then you take a piece of pizza, you take off the top, the cheese and the pepperoni, and you let that kind of coat the outside, and then you eat it.
That's awful.
I had half. Rich had half. I feel terrible. I may not eat again for like a week.
What happened to? I thought we were on a little bit of a diet there, doing good, and we're talking about the Peloton. All of a sudden, we're doing Forbidden Glizzies.
Peloton still has not been used. That damn power cord still hasn't gotten here somehow, some way. We'll see if it gets up and going. I'm thinking maybe after Arizona, we start the diet. How about that?
Always an excuse.
After Arizona, our diet starts tomorrow. All right, that's it for us. John Schaefer is coming up next. He has made it back safely from Vegas. I do wonder if after the Aztecs loss on Saturday, John Schaefer went into a full spiral and ended up losing all his money, getting hammered drunk at the Bellagio. I'd imagine that's what happened to John.
On hard kombucha.
Yeah, probably on hard kombucha. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long, out.